Alright, so this is the video on how to make real authentic Maryland crab cakes. First, you gotta start with all this lump of real Maryland crab. You can't use Louisiana crab or Asian crab or any other crab. You gotta use real Maryland crab. They're better, they're sweeter, they don't taste like mud, they're great. Alright, then you don't want to use a lot of filler, so what you got is just a tiny little bit of bread. And then you got some Old Bay. You gotta have Old Bay and some special sauce. You don't want to say what's in it, anything like that. It's definitely homemade, super duper real deal homemade. A lot of restaurants in Maryland, they don't use the right stuff, and they don't know how to make it, and you gotta use the homemade stuff, definitely. So what you want to do is you want to cut off these crab burnt ends, and you want to save those aside for some crab burnt ends. And you don't want any extra little burnt ends in there. You want to make sure it's nice and beautiful Maryland lump crab cake. You don't want to get any of those inconsistencies. You know what I mean? So this is your starting Maryland crab cake. So this is the crab portion of the cake. What we gotta do is make it into lumps. Okay, you don't want to stir it up or anything like that. So what we're gonna do is gonna cut it on the bias right here, and these are nice lumps, and so you get about a little bit there. Yeah. Make it nice and lumpy. Oh yeah. So get you lumps going, just like that. Now you got some Maryland lump crab. Yeah. Oh yeah. So now that you got your Maryland lump crab, it's all in here. It's nice and fluffy, beautiful lump crabs. Not got any mud in there, none of that Louisiana mud or anything. You gotta take some decent butter. Okay. You're gonna take it and you want to break it apart into lumps. Okay. I'm gonna break this butter apart. Yeah. Break it apart. Yeah. Just throw it in there. Yeah. And what it's do is gonna create some pockets for your crab meat, and you just want some little pockets of buttery goldenness in there with your Maryland lump crab meat. So now what you got to do is add some of that super secret homemade sauce. None of that store-bought stuff. You got to use some super secret sauce. A lot of places in Maryland, they don't do it right. So you just gotta make sure it's super duper secret, and it's got to be homemade. Got to be homemade. This is a family recipe. Been in my family. We've been crabbing in Maryland for like, I don't know, maybe 700, 800 years or something. We're like true islanders and stuff. Oops! Don't let some of that crab escape. That stuff's very expensive. A little bit more sauce. So now that we got that going, what we got here is Old Bay. Gotta love some Old Bay. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Oh yeah. I put Old Bay on everything. I even put it on my toilet paper because I definitely want my ass cheeks to taste the same thing that's coming in as it is going out. You know what I mean? Gotta put that Old Bay on there. Lots of Old Bay. And just because we're extra fancy right here, we're gonna use some Old Bay with some blackened seasoning because Maryland's all about the taste, the flavor. Now we need a binder agent. Okay, we want to retain that nice whiteness to the Maryland crab cake. We don't want any yellow coming through. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use egg white instead of the yellow. Because we only do real clean, nice flavors around here. We don't use any of the egg yellow. The egg yellow, it's to be honest, most Marylanders think that the yolk, the yellow part, it's too spicy, and the white stuff is just right where you want to be. You don't want any of that yellow business, You gotta have the white, Yeah. You gotta get that white stuff out. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's the flavor right there. Ooh, yeah. Go get in there. Yeah. Stir this egg white up. Put some air bubbles in it so it's nice and fluffy. Yeah, like that. Then we're gonna come back And this fluffed up egg white, yeah, without the spicy yolk, it's gonna make us a nice fluffy crab cake. I tell you, man. I tell you. Oh, there's nothing better sitting around the bay, getting us some Maryland crabs, all lumpy, and just eating it up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now there's a extra little special ingredient I want to tell anybody about, but it helps with the browning, and I don't want to say what it is. It's just been in the family. It's just an old secret recipe. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Get some of that. Yeah. Or white. Yeah. Get some of that out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Secret family recipe. Only the homemade stuff here. Oh yeah. Stir that around. Nice and fluffy. Lick the spoon. So good. Next part, you want to make the crab cake, okay? See that? I use like a claw method, like a tiger claw, like I learned real deal taekwondo and stuff. Take that. There it is. Your Maryland lump crab cake. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put that into a cast iron skillet. And preferably use a cast iron skillet that has already cooked some actual Louisiana seafood. That way it actually has some taste to it. And don't clean it out, okay? Because Maryland food really tastes like shit, and you want the Louisiana leftover, grit in the cast iron skillet to transfer, but not too much, because egg yolks are spicy and stuff, and you don't want anything to just stir. All right, take your real deal Maryland lump crab cake, so lumpy. You want to take it and put it in the pan. Yeah, the heat's got to be on low so that you don't burn your crab cake, and you want it kind of cooked all the way through. You don't want anything underdone, because you don't want anybody to get seafood. You'll see it start to brown around the edges, and that's when you want to flip it. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that nice little, I just put that right over there. And then take this Maryland lump crab cake and add some more of this bullshit. Yeah, some little bullshit, some bullshit. Sprinkle it with some bullshit. Oh yeah. Remember I told you, make sure the pan is dirty and you cook something in it the day before. Look at that goldy, buttery goodness of shoo-shoo that comes from the bay. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be like a little pockets of butter and none of that bullshit Louisiana flavor. It's time to take it out of the pan. Okay. And you may want to use a strainer type of thing to get all the grease. Alright, you get your lump of Maryland crab cake here. It should be kind of crispy on the outside and nice and soft and lumpy and buttery on the inside. You should hear this. Hear that? Oh yes, it's gonna be good there. What you want to do is take your little crab cake and you want to, oh, look at all that crab. Oh, that nice buttery. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yes, oh yeah, oh, a little bit of lump crab, Maryland crab fell off. Look how good that lumpy Maryland crab is. Oh, it's just words can't replace it. Your spices and your seasoning, you can't make up for the freshness of Maryland crab. I'm gonna take some of this Maryland lump crab cake and I'm gonna give it to a real authentic Marylander who's from the islands, grew up crabbing his whole life.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's a real lump Maryland crab. It tastes all nice and buttery. Yes.
It's hot.
It's real like Louisiana seafood, huh?
It's hot.
Yeah, it's not shitty like that. It's all nice and Maryland seafood.
Hot.
Oh yeah, it's real good. Look at all that lump crabs. Man, you need to trim your fingernails, Maryland boy. Holy shit. How's it taste?
Butter.